Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Today I finally picked up haptic feedback, like a chair. It goes on top of your chair, and I thought I'd do a review of it. This is the Next Level Racing HF8 from Next Level Racing, which is an Australian company. I picked mine up from, in the UK I picked it from Amazon, just here, but as you can see there's loads of places. It's all around about the same price. There's a long waiting list. That's the price I paid, but it can go, I've seen it go right up to as 270. So we'll have a quick look, and then we'll I'll show you it fixed to my sim rig, sim pit. And the sim pit I'm using, I got that from Next Level Racing as well, and I'll show you that it's a bit like one of these. And I was a bit worried when I first got it that these wings would actually catch a little bit, but or like stick out, and they don't, and I'll show you that. So it's currently available. I was waiting for ages. It took us 3 weeks to get it, and I think it come direct from Amazon, but through Next Level Racing's website. I should have just really went to there. The only reason I buy from Amazon is because you can send things back without any too much problems. So as you can see, it looks like a leather construction, which it feels really nice quality. It actually feels like leather. I don't know whether it is or not, but it looks good, and I'll show you it in the flesh. And it's got motors in. It's got 8 motors, as you can see. One, two, some up here, some down here. You can actually change all these in the software. Now there's 2 types of software I'm using. There's the Next Level Racing software, which I use for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and for DCS, or Digital Combat Simulator, I use SimShaker, because I can't get that software to work with DCS because it's not really fully compatible yet. And the 2 differences in the software is quite different. SimShaker has a lot more functionality, but we'll look at that later on. As you can see, you can pop it onto chairs. I did have a chair similar to this, and it would have went on. It'll go on pretty much all chairs. I don't see why it wouldn't go on any chair. It's got a cutout at the front, like here. You can see it in that picture. So your joystick, plenty of space for that. And I have like a sim like this, which I'll show you. So when I slide it forward, sorry, I keep pushing the wrong button. When I slide it forward, the joystick, it doesn't catch, which is really good. So it's a nice piece of kit. It comes with like a control. You can turn it on and off. This is a power. That's a power lead just there. Yeah. I'm not doing an unboxing because there's nothing really in the box apart from this and a socket, like a power adapter. That's it. And a multi-point one, so you can change it for different countries, and that's it. And an instruction book, which is really thick, but there's only about 2 pages. What you've got to do is you've got to go on the website, register. If you haven't got or if you're not already registered, register, username, password. Then, and only then, there's a serial number on the bottom of your controller, the little red button at the bottom of there. There's a serial number. You've got to put that in, and then you can download the software. Yeah, which is a bit of a con in a way. They should just, you've bought it, you shouldn't have to register. But anyhow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the external camera, and I'll show you around. I'll show you what it looks like and what it feels like, and then we'll jump into some software. So back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you can hear me, guys. I think that's recording. I hope it is. Right, guys. So as you can see, it's on me sim pit. This one's the Next Level Racing. I'm doing a video of this, so it'll be somewhere if you look on the website. So there it is there. It fits really nice. I'll just move the camera a little bit more so you can see it is. It actually goes together like with this kit. It looks really premium. So it's got like a leatherette feel. It feels excellent. I really like it. So loads of perforations, loads of little holes all over it. That's obviously so when you squash it, the air can get out. It's got some rubber accents on here, which are all stitched on. Next Level Racing, which all matches, which looks really nice. And then a little thing there which is Next Level Racing. These little wings actually work out pretty good because it keeps these on. If you're going to use the straps, obviously you might have a gaming chair, it doesn't really make any difference. Depends what you want to do. But it fits on there really nice. And you've got motors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's a cutout. If you can see, I'll bring that in a little bit closer. Pop it down because it's a bit awkward with this camera. You can see it just there. It just slides forward. And I'll just slide it forward to show you. So it goes all the way back to about there. But really this acts in with this as well. Obviously underneath you can see that's my seat. There's a motor in there, and then you can slide it right close up. That's how I sit. And because it's high, it means that my legs are about maybe that thick, so it actually works out perfect for the joystick. You've got straps here. Let me just move back a little bit so you can see. I haven't got a wide enough angle then. So you've got straps up the top here, so 1, 2 there, it's all the way on the back, another one here, one goes underneath all the way, and another one there. You can see that one's a little bit tight, and I need to take that one velcro off a little bit. So that leads us on to the controls, and then we'll have a look at the software. Let's have a look. If I can just drop this down a bit, just so we can see. Let's kneel down. I'm just trying to look at the screen to see whether we can see okay. Okay, so there's the control box. Now I've got this wired into like a mains adapter underneath here. So it plugs in. So this is this actually, you can see it there. So there's your barrel connector, which is your mains. That allows you to turn it on and off. And you can see that light. Now, when you turn it on, you're going to dial it down to green, which is the weakest, up to red. Yeah, and that's in USB mode. If you want to go into audio mode, which is the 3.5mm jack, you double click. Have you hold it? I don't know. You hold it, I think. Yeah, you hold it, it flashes, it's into the audio mode now. Hold it again. And USB mode. Yeah, and turned off. So this goes to the power lead, and also the USB lead goes to my PC. Yeah, so that's really it for that. I've just got that tucked in there out the road. There's the cable there. And I did originally mounted it like this, but I need to lean over to get to it. So I've left it like loose, and also when you bring it back and forward, you don't want it to like catch or anything, that's just the straps for there. And I've just got it mounted underneath, nothing catches, it's really good. So there's nothing more I can say about it really, to do with the build quality. Is fantastic. It's double stitched on the edges there, which is nice. It's about 2 inches thick. You can actually feel the places where the motors will be, but they don't cause me any problems. They actually feel quite good, and you can adjust each one as well. So what I'm going to do is jump over to the software. We'll have a quick look at the software, and then we'll do like a game, maybe a flight. I'll do a flight. Let me just pop the camera out the road, and that's what it looks like on that rig. I'll just move around so you can have a quick look from this angle. There's the full setup. I'm going to do a video of this, so keep an eye out on this, guys. I'm going to probably do it after this video. I'll probably finish the video for this Next Level Racing Military Edition. It's a Born Military Edition, and I've I've actually done quite a lot of work on it. So we'll leave that there. We'll jump back over to the PC. So back in a second. Okay, so we're back on the PC. Just make sure we're recording. Yes. So this is the software after you've registered and you get everything sorted with your password and username. You're allowed to download this, and you can see that it's already preloaded games. I don't do any car games. Just for me, it's going to be a Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then excuse me, and also DCS when that comes out. Just waiting for DCS really. They're working on it, so that's pretty good. So again, here you've got this, and you can actually, if you pick the game you want first, so like Flight Sims, I want that. Yeah, and then you can see, we'll come back to this actually. Let's go back to home. You can actually, it's turned on. You should have to, and it turned on. It's turned on now. If you touch them, you get a buzzing. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'll be quiet when I do the next one. You might have to pick that up. There. So you can try them all out, and you've got the intensity as well. Whack that up. USB and audio mode. I'm on USB mode. You don't actually click on it. It just, I don't know why it's there if you can't click on it. So you pick your game, then you go into this. You can make a full screen if we want, which is a bit easy for us. It's just that I'm in the road there, that's all. So yeah. So this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. You've got engine flaps, G-force, airspeed, landing gear, stall, and ground effects. I don't know what the combination for you is going to be. I fly helicopters and planes, but primarily helicopters. So I've got this set up for both. It tends to I want to say feel the engine rumbling. Now you can click on it and then turn, like this one is a front left and front right, and then I've got these off, and then I've got the high right, high left. So I've got these two and them two for the engine rumbling, and you can change your percentage there, how much you want. You can turn it on and off, flaps and so on. So you can see how it works. You just put on what you want. I just have the 2 button for that, and then like stall would be all of them. I want to feel it in everything. You might have different ones, ground effect and so on. Yeah, you've got settings where it just says language, start with Windows. Now I would recommend you not having anything on. Yeah, you don't want auto detect the game or anything, because how it works is you've got to have the game running on the pad waiting to take off, then run this software. Yeah, so you have this software running. Don't hit that because it'll log out. It's a bit of a pain to get back in. So don't run the software, so close it down. Now if you close it down now, it should still be here, so make sure that you quit it, and anything else that you don't need running. So what we'll do is I'm going to show you the other software first, and then we move it. So the other software I use for DCS is going to be SimShaker for aviators. I'll just bring that up now. You can see it's just starting there. Obviously the website, I don't know where you can get to the website from here. I'm just waiting for it to load. Oh, sorry. There. Just put it on the other screen. So when you start it, you've got to click Start SimShaker. Opens up all this. So there's 3 little dialog boxes. See them? And then you've got, see how here it says force feel. When you first put it on, you're gonna be in this, and it's gonna be on jet seat. Yeah, what you want to do is, see how it says state unknown, so you want to change it, leave it on USB if you're using USB, change it to force fail, that'll pop up, and then it says recognized. This is the level. Now see how, if I move it on the dial, if I just move the dial on the little red box at the bottom, you can dial it up, dial it down. So if you're flying and it's a little bit too much, you can just dial it down a bit, which I quite like. So this is, I use this just for DCS. Now it will work for Microsoft Flight Sim, but I can't get it to work, and I suspect when I first loaded it up, I loaded this software and I told it, I can't remember, I think I told it about DCS, and for some reason it's looking in my DCS folder all the time. So I think I'd have to delete everything, and I don't want to do that because it's working in DCS. So if you only had Microsoft Sim, it'd probably just pick up that. So we want that. You can test the motors. If I hit that now, it should start vibrating all of them. Yeah, it's going from one to the other, back and forward. Yeah, they all work. And then you've got this, which is the threshold. I'm not really sure what this is. I just leave this. But I think you can change the threshold and dead zones and things. You can open the configure it as well. Doesn't work for me. You got to start the simulator first. But to be fair, that's all you need. This. Now you can see I've got the H64 Apache, and I've also got, it's recognized. So if you run the H64, then switch over to the F18, it'll just change automatically. And I've got the UE as well there. So in the Apache, I've got all these. I can set all these to what you want. Just play around with everything. Turn things on and off. GFX I haven't got on. And once you're happy with that, you want to use it as a generic template. You can save it. You can import, so you can save that for later, and then if you lose it, you can bring it back in. But really, it's not that much important. You can just adjust it. And if we go to me F8 there's like there's a lot more things on here. So you got wind away trap, so obviously off the carrier, wings unfold, wheel block and skiddings, turbulence, touchdown, tail hook, stall. I mean, this is really good. Should run. We'll have a go at that. So this is the software. Again, I haven't tested it whether you need this running, but I'm definitely going to close it down. It's not running, so it's definitely closed down. And what we'll do is we'll pop DCS open first, and then we'll have a look at things. So there's DCS up and running. I'll pause it and come back when it's started up. Okay, so we've got it loaded up. We'll just go for a quick mission. So now I'm going to start the SimShaker software. Before I forget, click start. This opens up. Looks good there, looks good there. Back to the sim, and then I think we're ready to go. I think you could do the test, but I think it's going to work. So we'll just pick up a normal cold start, runway start. That'll do us. I've got to put my head tracker on, obviously. Can't fly a helicopter without a head tracker. Well, you can, but moving your head is so important. So I've got my collective down. So kit-wise, I'm flying with all verbal controls apart from my pedals, which are VPN. The VPN? Thrustmaster. Anyway, the Thrustmaster ones, I'll show you them later. But I've got a Thrustmaster, the verbal throttle, stick, and collective, which are absolutely, quality-wise, fantastic. Just wait till this starts up. So flying the Apache here, A64D variant. Just waiting for the fire control radar to come out with the radar guided missiles, AGMs. That'll be interesting. Okay, let's reset my head tracker. That looks good. One, two, three. So just wait till that guy finishes. Okay, so just going to turn it down a little bit so I can hear myself talking. So there's the Apache. Oops. So I get when I click on the wrong. There's the Apache. Fantastic looking model. Looks amazing. Get close and personal. Look at the detail. This is outstanding model. If you haven't already fly the Apache, you want it's fantastic. Absolutely love it. In VR as well, it's just beyond belief. Okay, so enough of that. So, can't feel no rumble at the minute. Let me just turn it up. Turn the intensity up. And I'm just gonna, before we go anywhere, I'm just gonna check this to make sure that we're 96% gunfire, turbulence, gun failure. Where's the engine at? You really want that on, yes. Payload, missile, buffet. What? G-force canopy. I can't see. Am I missing something? Ground bumps failure. Strange. But anyway, so what we'll do is we'll start to pick it up. I don't know if you can see. We're just tilting off to the right a little bit. Nice and steady. 5 feet. Can't feel anything yet because there's no engine like hum for some reason. I don't understand that. Just change that so we can see a little bit. We can turn that off actually, we don't really need it. I quite like it on because it gives me an idea of my altitude. You can see that that's hands off now pretty much. Just drifting a little bit. Just going to trim it out. That's hands off. Drifting a little bit. Let's put it back down on the runway. Oh, so I felt the ground effect and I felt the back wheel touch. So I could detect the back wheel first because we're on a bit of an angle. That was interesting. Let me just go forward. Let me take the brakes off, which are off. I'm going to take I'll leave that on. I'll just drive along the runway a little bit. Felt that. No ground rumble. Oh yes. A little bit faster. So as soon as I pitch forward and then it comes back, I can feel that land bump. Yeah, it's like a duh, duh, duh. And that must be the lines I'm picking up. Duh, duh, there, 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 there. Yeah, so that's the lines in the runway where it's joined. So let's pick us back up again. 1 foot, 2 foot. Okay, so there's a little bit of rumble there where I touched the runway, so let's pick us up a bit higher. Try the guns out, so we're armed up. Can't find no guns. There's something, it's very slight. I'm wondering whether a real Apache pilot, because of the guns so low, whether he would actually feel it through the frame. Don't know. Now, when the gun was pointing down there and I disarmed, it comes back up, doesn't it? I felt that. Arm. Yeah, I felt that. If you know what I mean, I'll show you. So when you point the gun it's not, down and then do that, I felt a click, like a little bit of a rumble. So now we're at 25 knots. Feel nothing. Just going for a hover. Trim. Apache is not the easiest to fly, but not bad. It's a little bit like on a rubber band. Just drifting to the right a little bit there, which is not a problem. Got no vibration at all. Anything, let's just go for a dive. And we'll go for a bit of a... Oh, yes. I don't know what that was, that G-force or what. But I think this is the biggest challenge. Trying to figure out what vibrations are what. Let's try rockets. Oh, yes. Left one. Right. That should be a left one. Oh, you have to left, right, left. Fantastic, that's good. So I take it the AGMs, they'll be the same. Let me just try to bring George up. See if we can find something to shoot at. Oh, a bit of vortex wind state there. Oh yeah. I think it's trying to climb too much. It's vibrating in the low back. Really aggressive there though. It's easing off. 24 knots, so it's disappeared now. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I'm trying to find out what's going on, like what's vibrating. See if George can find something. Find something over there for me, George. There we go, he's found a cargo ship. That'll do. So we'll just pop it over to TADS. So now we're looking at that cargo ship, which is just there. Just bring the nose around and we're going to fire Hellfire. Just get our altitude back up. And fire. too far. What's the range? 9,000. Vibrating there. It definitely feels like it's definitely adding to like the experience. In VR it would be actually amazing. Just gonna trim out. So I'm still over the limit, so just gonna head towards the target. I just want to see if the AGMs will cause a... I would assume the rockets do, so these will. We've only got 2 of them anyway, so as you can see down there, the range 999, so we're out of our ballistic limit. What about flares? Yeah, flares. I can feel them. Wow, yeah. Big shudder. I wouldn't have thought they'd be so like pronounced. Okay, we're in range shortly. You can see we've got that rectangle box, square. That means we can fire. So 1, 2, 3. Too far. 8,000 meters. I think it's like 7, isn't it? There you go. Fire. Yep, can feel that. Rocket motors. 23 seconds to impact. 15, 14, 10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact check. So that was a good impact, so that's working. Let's try 115%, a bit of shudder there. That must be turbulence. Complaining a little bit of shudder there in the back. Loads of stick on the back there. So I'm not getting anything there. Which I don't know why. I'm over talking. Let's go back to the engine page. That's supposed to be engine. Okay. Throttle off or collective down. Nothing. So let me just land. I think obviously settings wise. So definitely landing, the guns, rockets all work. I'd probably need to find out whether I need like the stall speed increasing. Alright, I feel it now, so it's stalling out, 500 feet a minute. Descent. It goes away when you get that 500 feet. And then we should feel an impact. Yes. Down. Lovely. So I felt the back wheel and then the 2 front wheels, left and right, because it went to the left and then to the right. Let's just open. So I felt... I haven't tried the doors yet, but I didn't feel this a great deal. The gunfire, maybe they can work on that. That should be like more pronounced. Maybe in a fighter jet you might get something different. Definitely felt that. Transitional lift. Didn't feel that. I'll bang this up. Failure, I'll try that later. G effects. Ground bumps, yes. Ground roll, yes. Rotor well low. High speed, probably try it on high. Oh, I can feel it now, yeah. I can feel it as soon as I turn that off, yeah. So now it feels like an engine rumble, which you probably won't feel the engine because it's, yeah. Payload, launch missiles, yes, definitely. Buffer should stall, yes. Touchdown, yes. Turbulence, don't know. Let's go back. So now I can feel this rumble. Let's take off. Now that's the blades, isn't it? So the blades are low. As I bring it up, it should go away. Still on. More. Loads. Oh, bloody hell. It's gone crazy. Bring it down. For some reason it's gone absolutely crazy. Why is it doing that? It's almost in a hover. Let's get going. Right, it goes. Oh, it's disappearing. It's still there but a little bit. As I get transitional lift, forward flight. I guess my 75 knots. It's still there but just a very slight rumble. $100 knots. That doesn't look like 100 knots, does it? By the way, the graphics look crap because I've got it set to VR and I haven't changed it back over to like Ultra, but I ain't bothered. So if I try to get some more lift, try to get some more speed. Whoops. Doesn't like that. I don't know why I can't say that. It just seems really slow for some reason. I think it's just me. But let's come to our hover again. Might need to dial that down a little bit. So when it comes into a hover, it's going to start to use its own air. So it's going into its own air column. So I assume it's going to start to get more vibrating. 90 knots. $80 knots. Okay, just try to bring our speed down. As if we were coming into a hover or coming into a land, but we're just descending about 200 feet a minute. 50 knots. So I can feel the vibration all over. Oh, here we go, here we go. It's gone crazy. It's struggling because we're losing. So a bit more power. A bit more torque, 56%. Now it goes away again. So that's quite interesting. Can use that flying at night. I can feel it while I'm looking around. I want to feel if it starts to go crazy. I'm starting to go loads really bad now. What the hell? Why is it doing that? I don't know what that is. because it's sat in its own air column, it's like turbulence. It's got to be. Goes away again. Trim. Whoops. So now we're basically hovering. It doesn't like it because it's the downwash. And I can feel that. Wow. That feels like it's going to take a bit to get used to understand what vibrations are doing what. I think if I turn everything off and then, but I can feel that there as if it's fighting against that downwash. Especially ground effect as well, because where are we at? 160. So we shouldn't be in ground effect, but let me just drop this down a bit. See if we get some ground effect wash, like air wash. 190. Was it 30 feet or something? Yes, a bit more there. That's 38 feet. So I think we're in ground effect now. I can't really feel anything different, because it's obviously pushing down, coming back up again, hitting the blades. Maybe a bit lower. Definitely feels like I'm in a helicopter. It's the rumble of the like full shaking. In a real helicopter, if you've ever been in a real helicopter, it shakes like bloody mad. Nothing. Same. Let's pick it up quite a lot. Yeah. Too much of I was over torque, so that was my RPMs of the. As soon as I over torque it. Oh, it doesn't come on then. Oh, that's going to go low, isn't it? That's right. So you could set it to low low blade or high blade. So like as I go into a dive, it should go high. Yes, there's something there. And then that would be low, wouldn't it? I think. Oh, half stalled. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So what I'm taking from this is when it starts to get vibratory, you've got to either add power or take it away depending on what you're doing. Right, I've had enough of this. I'm going to land. I'm going to try Microsoft Flight Sim, otherwise it'll be too long. But yeah, so far fantastic. It's just really interesting. I need to tweak some of the settings. So if we just stop that and go to yeah, this one here where it says rotor well high. Yeah, when your rotor blades are going really too fast, you're going to get that. But I would have thought low would be more important because you're going to stall it out. And also vortex ring state, I think I'd probably tweak that. What I would do is turn everything off, do vortex ring state, and then see if you can get it to go into a VR or type of thing, VRS, and then tweak that. That's what I would do. But this is working great. So what we'll do is we'll close this down. Close this down. I could fly a plane if you wanted me to, but I don't. The video will be too long, so I'll just stop there for a second. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we've got Microsoft Flight Sim open. We're going to do a little bit of flight. So we'll pick my local airport. This is where I live. UK, United Kingdom or England here. And I live there. And we're going to take off from this airport here, which is we'll just take off, I think, from, well, Yeah. Now what you've got to do is we'll use this little Cessna. You've got to be on the runway, then start. Well, I don't think. I think as long as you've got it running, but I'm gonna go fly. Throttles back, everything's down, and then I'll run the HF8 software from Next Level Racing, and then I'll work on trying to get SimShaker working in the future. So far this chair or this pad is absolutely fantastic. This is my local area. Okay, have a little look-see round. Looks good. If I can remember where the oh, that is there. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the software. So HSF, it should pop up in front. It's at the bottom, which is there. Oh, that is there. So I'll bring it to show you. So it's running. We need to flight sim that. Now, as soon as I've done that and I clicked on Microsoft, I can feel something happening. I can feel the engine rumble. Just enough to take over. I've got my brakes on, so I'm just going to put the power on. Yeah, so everything's working. Wow. So I've got flaps at 76. This is all open to change. I'll pop this out the road. That's all open to change. So what we're going to do is take off. I'm clear to take off, which is good. So full power. I can feel the rumble coming in more. Loads of rumble there. Let the revs pick up. A bit of rudder. Speed 40 knots. So we start to take off now. And we're airborne. Just backing off the RPMs a little bit. Loads of revs. It feels really good. Wow. Wow. Just going to trim a little bit. And we're coming up to like just 1,000 feet or something. 2,000 feet maybe. As you can see, my RPMs are still in the green, which is fine. Wow, so I can feel it all the way through my back of my legs, like the constant rumble everywhere of the engine. If I throttle off, it dies down to just a slight rumble. Then back on. Wow, that feels so good. Let's just do a bank. So, like I said, this is my local area. I'll fly over my house and stuff, and just while I would just get a sense of what's happening. That's the River Tees. Small, it gets bigger and bigger towards the sea, and that's Teesside International Airport. I don't know if it's international. I think it's not used a great deal really. The police use it. The police helicopter. Which I've got the Airbus H145, which is the same helicopter as what our police use. I've been in the helicopter a few times, training with them. Wow, this feels so different. Feels so different. It's amazing. Right, you can see the hills in the background there, the Cleveland Hills. Doesn't look much there, but they're quite high, 3,000 feet or something. And we're heading over towards where I live, which is east, towards the North Sea, Elton, the village of Elton, and Middlesbrough, Eaglescliffe is where I used to work. Darlington is, I'm a driving instructor, so primarily all these roads is where I'm done God knows how many hours, millions of hours driving around these motorbikes and motorbikes primarily, and then cars later on. And I've done that for the police, fire and ambulance service, and all the councils at the same time. Okay, so this is looking pretty sweet. It feels really nice. So I'll get some altitude, and then we'll do some stalls and things and see where that happens. What else could I try? I mean, flaps. So I'm flying along. I've got like maybe 50% throttle. Speed at about 90 knots. Just going to trim out a little bit. Feels alright. Okay. So vertical speed's coming back up. Yeah, it's a little bit too much, so I'm just trying to get the trim right. There we go. It's not too bad. That'll do us. I'm in awe of this game. I've only had Microsoft Flight Simulator for about 2 or 3 days. Decided to buy it on a whim, because I was into DCS, and I'm just so glad I fly the HF8 I'll show you that before I go. But the vibrations are right the way through. It feels like I'm sat here. The vibrations in VR, it's going to be like, wow, I can't wait to do VR. I'll do that later. Absolutely amazing. So what's our altitude at? We're only at 1,000 feet. So we'll start to put the our flaps. Do full flap, see what happens. Oh, straight away at the back. Let's try that again. Felt them, but now I felt the flaps initially. Let's turn that off. I'm not sure whether that goes off or not. So there's the Cleveland Hills, there's Middlesbrough. Let's try a dive. Oh! Wow! Oh yeah, I could feel the clunk on there, and I could feel the oh yes. So definitely it's stalling. I can feel the shudder. Let's get mouse speed up again. If it feels a bit clunky, it's probably because I've got OBS running doing the recording. Wow. This feels so good. That's the A66 coming into Ingleby Barwick and Middlesbrough. Do you know what I find interesting about this game? I know we're getting off topic, we're just enjoying this pad, this gaming pad, is I recognise, it's the recognition, so like flying around but you're seeing it from above. I fly drones and I've seen plenty from up here at 400 feet. We can only fly 400 feet. But it looks, it's harder, but I recognise that intersection. And then you get lost again, you think, where the hell's that roundabout? Is that the roundabout? Yeah, that's the roundabout at the riverside. And then you're looking for key landmarks like hospitals and big structures. That's Teesside Park, which is a shopping mall. I don't know what that is, that one down there. That's a prison, isn't it? That must be prison, yeah, Stockton prison. But yeah, it's amazing. It feels really good. It feels like something's happening. It feels like when I back off on the power, and I can feel the stall. Yes, the stall comes straight in there. Because I've got no power on, I've only got 50% RPMs, or 2000 RPMs. Whoa, whoa. That's really good, that. It's actually no delay. I don't know if you can hear that rumbling. Obviously we're down to 60 knots now, so we have to be a bit more careful. Wow. Full throttle. Get the speed up, and it should do it less as I get more speed up. But yeah, that got up to speed quick. So now it's not coming in till I get this about... No, it's still not coming in. Whoa. Actually, that went to 20 knots, that, before it... Let's just go on a steady bank and stall it. Thousand feet. 1,000 feet a minute. 2,000 feet a minute. 40 knots, and should be stalling out shortly. There we go, it's coming in. Wow. So that's the stall there. I can feel it rumbling like mad. It's struggling. It's going to fall out the sky, and there it is. Pitches forward. Well, I'm just flabbergasted. That's fantastic. So this is Teesport, Middlesbrough, Cleveland Dills are them over there, and I live just up here, Seaton Carew. And you know what? I know some of the buildings are not accurate. They're just plonked down. Like that building down there might not be a building. It might be just a different type of building. But all the roads and the junctions and the lakes and everything are really there. So that's a course road. The nuclear power station is just on my left there. You can just see it there. It's not modelled properly, so they've made it look like a factory rather than a nuclear power station, but that's to stop people from naughty people. So yeah, that's my hometown there where I'm looking at. This is all a nature reserve, Beggar Bird Nature Reserve. And just down here is where the refurbished ships and oil rigs and scrap them as well. It's just, I just like to look at all the roads I drive on, because with being a driving instructor, I'm on these roads up and down millions of times teaching people for test. So there's a golf course. This is Hartlepool, and about, I can't really show you unless my mouse comes on. Oh yeah, my mouse comes on. It's the headland. This is town centres up here. It looks like a little bit sparse, and I recognise all these roads, but the buildings are different. That car park is where I do practicing bay parks and things for my lessons, and then I'm over all of the, right away I drive right up here using all of this right up to possibly, can't see, right up to here. That's my catchment area. Sometimes I go out of town, but not much. Yeah, so I'm trying to get a reference point. I live somewhere just about here. Maybe there, it's hard to work it out. I'm looking for a park with a pond, and then I'm next to that. Can't see it from this altitude, but I think it's about there. Anyway, getting off topic. Feel the rumblings, fantastic. I'm gonna head back now, and this is a success. Let me try a helicopter before we go, so we'll stop here. I'll pause it and I'll be back when I get everything set up. Okay, so we're in the Airbus H145. I'll show you from outside. This is an add-on which you've got to buy separately. Like I say, I've been in this helicopter in the back, but it's a police helicopter. Let's have a little look. Just close all this down. Don't really need all this really. Let's have a little look around then. So I can feel rumbling in the seats straight away. We've got some guys in the back there. Alright guys. Yeah. Some medics. This is a medical helicopter, so we can do missions and things. So what I like about this helicopter is just the functionality of it. It's so modern, and it's got so the avionics are just fly-by-wire fully. So it's got autopilot. Now if I click on that, it's like the autopilot is on all the time, but you can turn part of it off. So I've got my collective down here, which you can see moving. Yeah, just underneath is a trigger. I use that to turn my autopilot off. Yeah, so my collective is actually off a Black Hawk helicopter, so it's similar but just has more functionality on mine. I've got like a search. This is the same. This is the same for my thumb. Trigger. I don't have that little red button. I don't know what. It's hard to see what that little red button is. Oh yeah, I don't know what that is. But I have other things. I've got probably like I've got a few switches for my night vision because it's a Black Hawk, and I've got a hook. I have a hook for cable release and such. I think that'll probably be that what might be. So anyhow, as we pick it up, you can see that we've got engine 1, engine 2, and then you've got engine 1, engine 2, engine 1, engine 2, and you've got your power, your torque, your temperature, oil pressures, engine 1, engine 2. Leave all these like this. I'm not going to touch any of these yet. What I like about this is you can change them around. You could put that onto there. We've got a camera. we can pop that onto there. We can have our nav up here. There's so much functionality. It's just great being able to use these MFDs. We'll go back to that. Oh no, we'll leave that on there. That's quite nice. So you can see where we are. And then this you can change to different settings. You've got hover mode, so when you look out, you've got, if we were moving, you'd see this inner ring moving. So it's basically like the Apache, where you can drop hover bob up. It's a bit like that, but you don't drop it, it just stays, and if you move, it follows you. So you can get an accurate, like now, you just keep that in the center, you're sorted, which I like. And then you've got a flight path. This HMD head mounted display, you can turn it on and off, or you can different variants, and then you can obviously change your setup and things to whatever you need. I quite like it on that one. We're not going to bother with any other things. As you can see, there's our fuel. We've got our voltages, battery power, engine oil, hydraulics, and everything. So that's me, Golf Echo. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick it up and just see if I can feel anything. So I can feel like a low rumble. As I bring the torque up, you can see the torque should come up. So that's percentage of torque. And eventually it'll get higher and higher. There you go. So now we're off the ground 2 feet. Really stable craft, so if you look from outside, super stable because it's all modern avionics and super duper fly-by-wire. Now you see it's drifting a little bit. Oh, felt a little bit of shake there. Okay, now if I push that trigger underneath there, I can turn off. If you notice, we've got auto trims on, that's why it's drifting a little bit, but nothing else is on. Altitude hold, altitude acquire, airspeed hold, automatic hover, all that type of stuff. Now if I hold that trigger, you'll see now I've got full control, but the auto trim's on, so it's really nice and smooth. But I've got more dexterity with the helicopter, but the auto trim's on for me all the time. A little bit of vibration there in the back seat, and then when I let go, it starts to put more things in place. And if I go to hover, I haven't got the grips with this thing yet, so I'm still learning it. Turn that off. Let's get going, because you've got clearance. It's a quick, it's a nippy little, say nippy, it's about 5 ton. It's a little, it's a big old bird, but it's just, so we're up to 95 knots already. I can feel the rumble changing in my legs, mainly underneath my legs, in the seat, in my pants. And then we're just picking up altitude, 120 knots. I think the max speed is 150, 160 or something. So I've got that rumble, but our torque is at 108%, so I have to bring that back a bit. It's a bit too much. There you go, it starts to dissipate. Oh, 99%. And then when I let go of the trigger, it starts to bring in some of the autopilot systems. So now that's hands off. Wow, it's fantastic. I love it. on this model you can actually winch people down, winch people up. You've got night vision, searchlights, all sorts of stuff. So the vibration seems constant. If I take away the power, whoa, 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 yes. Oh, that stall comes in there, bringing it back in slowly, and it goes back to normal. So then, so what it looks like I'm feeling is just the general vibration of the blades, and also the vibration of the engines and any other little vibrations. Because helicopters are naturally vibrating; they just are. So if I bank over to the right, super smooth. Look how smooth you can turn. Hands off, and it'll stay in that turn, which gives me chance to like spot if I was. So instead of just flying, I can let the helicopter do most of the flying, and I could be looking out for. I could use a searchlight. We've got like how many pairs of eyes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of eyes. Could be searching out. And also, if you notice, I know you can't see on camera, but if I knock me cyclic, the helicopter doesn't do anything. So if I bang it by mistake, it's not going to do anything. I've got to push it past, and it's like really stiff, and then but it only moves slowly. And as I leave go, it just stays there. And then if I hold the trigger, take off the autopilot, and then I can start to throw around a little bit, and then bring it back up, and then release, and it should stay there. It's complaining, loads of vibrations in the back now because we need to settle it down again. There you go, it starts to dissipate now. The back goes, and then the legs is going to, the vibrations under the legs are staying put because that's the natural vibrations of the engine or the turbines. Just bank around. Wow, this feels so good. I can't believe it. I'm just so blown away. That's why I just can't seem to think what to say, because let's have a quick look. So engine, I think I want to dial that down a little bit. Can we do it in game? Nah, so that's not the engine. Flaps. This must be. Still vibrating. Ah, there. Landing gear. Engine. Oh yes, so now that's the engine. Oh, that's perfect. Let's just get out the clouds. Right, I'm going to put altitude on, so I'm going to altitude hold. It'll drop us down to, I think it's set to 2000? 2500, let's go to... That'll do. Close. So, and also our airspeed as well. We'll leave that on. So it should keep us at this speed. We're going to bank round a little bit. Okay, so we should keep round about this speed here, which is the red altimeter. Let's have a look then. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, wow. So the engine, 24%. It's just to say, I'm trying to remember what it feels like. Yeah, there's a slight rumble under my legs, just enough to I can detect it. Now we want to try G-force, or sorry, we want to try stall, don't we, or ground. So this ground effect, nothing. Stall's really important. So what I'm going to do now is, let me just move this out the road a bit, because it's in my field of vision. That's alright there, isn't it? So now what I'm going to do is take that off. Take that off. Whoa, yes. Stalled out there. Wow, 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 wow. Power. Bring the power in. Bring the power in. And it goes away. Wow. That ground effect actually quite scary. Oh, sorry, it wasn't ground effect. It was stalling, wasn't it? Oh, it's gone off. It was stalling 100%. I don't want that much. So the stall's good. I hear that rotor flap. I'm not sure whether that should be, something should be vibrating until it goes away, because I'm thinking I can't see why it would do that. Is it just because of the, see, the RPMs aren't speeding up? I don't know. That noise, oh no, the vibrations coming there because we are 29 knots and we're losing altitude, so we need to bring in the power. That goes away. Yeah, so as it was losing too much altitude, too much, now we're still losing altitude, 940, 39, 38, so we're dropping quite a bit. Bring it back up till it doesn't drop. About there. Lovely, 25 knots. Knots. Okay. Yeah, it actually works pretty good. I'll have to figure out what all the things do, but definitely the engine's working. I think they're all working. But like speed brake wouldn't work, but would that be for something else? Would that cause like transitional lift? So I'm not sure. So we'd have to play with all these, but straight away it's working. It's absolutely great. I love it. It's fantastic. Everything seems to be working. And I have no qualms about it at all. Yeah, it's really good, this helicopter. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm going to do some separate videos where we can go for missions, and just to give you the taster, we can go into like missions here, and we can go into the predetermined missions, and we could do like a HEMS mission, offshore. So if we do a HEMS mission, we can go like there's an accident at a nearby hospital to hospital, transfer patient, rescue near side road accident. So what that would do is as we get to the incident, there'll be fire, maybe ambulances and a casualty, police and things, and then we land in the middle of a busy intersection and pick up the guy. These guys will jump out, pick him up, the medics, and then we'll be way back to our destination, which we can plot on our panels down here, whatever we need to do. Fantastic. So yeah, this this pad is the next level for me in immersion. So I'm going to try it with VR. I might do a video, might not, but this was just to see whether a review of this pad was worth buying. Let me just stop that a sec and pop over to here. So yeah, this is the guys where I bought it from, and I'm going to be doing a video of this next. But yeah, check out their website, guys. Fantastic quality. And when I built this, I'm going to do another video and you can see this. I was blown away by the quality of it, and I was a bit dubious because I lost my desk space, and when you lose your desk space, where do you put your cup of tea, where do you put this, where do you put that? So that was about the only negative, but definitely worth the money. So I'm going to wrap this video up for this gaming pad. It's a really nice piece of kit. It works perfect. If it doesn't work, delete everything and put it all on again, and it works for what I'm using for. So you can set all these up individually, and you can set up the intensity as well. So okay guys, if you've got any questions about this HF8 gaming pad, give us a comment below, give us a like, and if you haven't subbed, appreciate it. So it keeps me spared on, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.